eventually we gave in and we allowed you to spend some money sometimes to get skins because two reasons. First of all, we saw that it was a thing. It wasn't just like you being, it was a symbol of status. It meant a lot to you players. And you have to take that into account, right? It's like having your
cool new shoes,
your M Jordan 1s, originals rather than having some Carrefour, so we got that. And then second, because it was cool. I mean, eventually I got to see it as exactly like the shoes.
Yeah.
Right. It's a symbol of status. The only thing is that you don't actually touch it. It's digital. And we had to overcome the thought that something untangible was to you guys as if it was tangible, as if it was a cool t-shirt, right? The reason you pay 180 euros for a Barcelona t-shirt from the Barcelona shop, it's because it's exactly the same as the players. Is it better quality than something else? Probably not, but it's from the Barcelona shop and it's the coolest thing around. So they charge you 180 euros instead of 60, like they might do in another shop. So you do it because it's it's there. Once we got that concept, it was easier to give you the money. But we were if you remember, we've always been very, very guarded with that. And I mean, do you remember the biggest anecdote about that?
Yeah, I remember what I think you're going to suggest is, I think that there was a moment where you guys were like, Gabe, you're spending too much money on Fortnite. I think it was just after I had come and said, dude, guys, can I buy this skin? And you're like, Gabe, you're spending too much money. And I said, okay, we'll do a contract where this will be my last skin for X amount of years. And you guys said, okay, sure. And I remember I wrote on a blank piece of paper.
You did.
A stupid contract, which I thought was super high lingo with I hence don't buy skins anymore.
I hereby promise not to buy skins anymore. And we put the contract, we stuck it on
my door. And I think that lasted like...
Oh, no, we stuck to it.
But it lasted like a few months, right?
It lasted quite a couple of years. No, it lasted a long time.
Oh, yeah?
It lasted a long time, except you didn't think it would. In your mind, you thought, I'm going to write this contract, we're going to stick it up here, and I know that in a month's time, I'm going to be getting my way. But you didn't. For the same reason that we banned you from playing Call of Duty that one time because we saw you crying in the living room because you've been betrayed by your peers. It was starting to become the reason why you were playing. We noticed that you were playing to be able to get those skins and to be able to buy more skins. And that's when we said no. If you're going to play, you're going to play for fun and to play with your friends and to enjoy the game. You're not going to play the game to get more skins. So once we saw that you would overcome that, then we went back to giving you sometimes money for skins. And we made you pay for them. You did chores in the house to be able to get all that. It wasn't, I want to make this clear that it wasn't just us dishing out the money. After that contract, you started doing things around the house, walking the dogs, doing the dishwasher.
Oh, I think that's what the condition was, wasn't it? Like you could buy skins, but you had to do
there was two conditions. You'd be getting a weekly allowance for the chores you were doing. And then second, you still had to run by us when you bought some things to make sure so that we could control you. And then it was all right. And what we always did allow you to do was get your battle pass when the season. That was at the beginning of every season, right?
Yeah.
And I remember
every I think back then it was every three months or two or 3 months or something like that.
Yeah, that you were always very excited because the season presentation came on and it was always at some weird time that was compatible with the rest of the world. So it was like
because it's an American Epic Games, an American company, so it was American times, and here was like 3 a.m. when the trailer came out. So at 6 when I woke up for school, I'd always have it, and I remember watching Ali as well while having breakfast, sitting on the sofa watching on the TV.
The good old days, yeah. And you'd get really excited about that. It was like the grand football final or something for you.